when they all have this money now to spend, why is it that the Patriots will win out over other teams? What is attractive about this place right now for free agents? If everybody has more money and everybody's got the ability to spend a little bit more, what's going to make them win out? Is it a quarterback? Because they don't have one. Is it the head coach? Because right now, he's an unknown. He's never coached a single game in the NFL. He's never set up his program. He's never had players play under him and say it's good playing for him, it's bad playing for him. None of it. It doesn't exist. It's a brand new head coach, and nobody's played under him. So I don't know that the head coach is an attraction. There is no quarterback. It's not a good roster. Why is it that the Patriots are going to win in free agency?
Well, I think with some of the other teams, Beetle, now that the cap has gone up, they're going to be able to hang on to their guys more than anything. Like we started talking about the Patriots guys, and you mentioned no improvement. Well, a lot of these other teams now, if they were close on a guy or he was going to, price himself out, they can now sign these guys. I think for the Patriots, what they need to do is find these guys that, maybe are coming off their second contract. So a guy that they're not willing to pay, the $7 or $8 million anymore. But can the Patriots pay those guys $7 or $8 million? Yes. So they're going to overpay on some free agents, maybe like a Jonah Williams, somebody like that. They're probably going to have to overpay because of the position, the tackle position, but they also need the position, and they can give that guy that kind of money instead of going to another contender.
But the price on Jonah Williams just went up with this.
Yes.
It just went up. And I think I read or saw last week when Phil was in, was talking about Jonah Williams as an option and paying Jonah Williams to return to left tackle and pay him like a right tackle. No shot. That doesn't happen now. Not with this news. The price has gone up. So those cute little ideas are not possibilities anymore. He could get paid by a half a dozen teams out there and get really good money. So I think it might make things more difficult, even with more money to spend. Everybody's got more money to spend.
You could get the player that you actually don't want and have to pay more. That would suck.
So I think your point, Zoe, is a good one.
Jump it. Let's go.
They should focus on the guys that they are familiar with, because those are guys that they can convince to be here. So you've got an offensive lineman who's a top 3 guy at his position, right? If not the best at his position going into free agency.
He's always pretty healthy.
And he wants to be here.
And he's always pretty healthy. And I see like a 4-year, $62 million deal thrown out there potentially for him. So you're talking about a little 15 and change per year. Hey, we're right there, Mike. We think that's the same for you, and I think that's a good spot. And we've seen $25 million are going to get guaranteed. We'll guarantee 30. Same deal, Mike. You love it here. You want to be here? We'll guarantee you 30. We'll put more of the guarantees towards the front of that first 3 years. Or work it that way. Work your magic. Don't backload it. Don't backload it. Front load it. Front load it for a good, consistent player that plays there and actually plays through injury. I like it.
Would this now entice the Patriots to go out and spend more money on a veteran, even though they may not be long-term? Meaning they sign a veteran and draft a quarterback. Would they put that money into a quarterback this season and next while another guy is grooming behind them? And I'm saying Baker Mayfield. Would they pay him $40 million?
You're saying would this get you to the next stratosphere of the next quarterback as opposed to a journeyman, just kind of a hand holder?
Exactly. Like I'm thinking Cousins, Mayfield, and maybe you would pay a little bit more for a Gardner Minshew type. Like he made $3 million last year. Well, he's probably going to get 10. Would the Patriots give him 15 as a, maybe a gap for 2 years while they develop somebody else? They now have that kind of money.
Not if you don't sign a winner. Like that's part of it too. Like I heard from somebody they need 8 new starters on offense.
But I'll throw this again. I go right back to this. If you are Kirk Cousins and you've got Atlanta or New England as your options, it's same money. And it's a lot of money. Which place are you picking right now?
Atlanta.
I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going to play in a dome. I'm going to play with at least one legitimate receiver on the roster.
They have an offense.
Legitimate offensive line. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm not going to go to New England. I'm going to go to the frickin' Falcons.
But why? How could the money be the same, though? That's the point. Like the Pats could give him $50 million.
Well, it could be the same.
I mean, they could give him $100 million. I mean, they're not going to do that though, right?
Yeah, he's just saying all things being equal.
Let's assume it's $45 million
equal,
bucks.
they
They're
have
both
no chance.
offering you $45 million a year.
Well, that's my take.
Well, I'm
is
picking
that
Atlanta. I'm not picking New England.
They have the money now. They can't compete with anybody. The only thing they can do is give people more money, and that's enticing. That's very enticing.
How much more money would it take to get you to pick New England over Atlanta in that situation?
They could cut
You give
one
another
guy.
extra. You give him an extra $5 million a year. Is he going to do it? I'm not sure he would.
But that they have the ability to do that, and I think that's enticing.
I
They
don't
have
think it's gonna
nothing
work.
else, Beetle. We have nothing else that's
And
enticing.
it would be entirely out of character for the franchise to do it. Let's not forget that.